Hey guys, it's me, Wilson, and we're back for another video on F1 22, and we're here for round 8. Yeah, round 8 of PSGL season, I don't know. And yeah, we're here at Monza, Temple of Speed as they call it. And yeah, last time out in Japan, it did not go ideal. We did not get points. I believe we started P8 or something like that. And we went on the unfavourable strategy to try something different. And then, yeah, were in a fight for P7, I think, and then we got pushed off the track, sadly. But yeah, that's how it happens. That's how racing is. These things happen. But we did not score points last time out, so we're here for Monza, and a little bit of an interesting race this is going to be. There's a FPS glitch that I'm sure you've heard about. Running lower FPS helps you run over the curbs easier. And we tried to have a gentleman's agreement about using higher FPS, but some drivers, for some reason, did not want to use higher FPS for whatever reason. I'm not too sure what the reason was for that, but definitely interesting to say the least. But yeah, that means we're running 60 FPS for Monza, which is fairly interesting. And yeah, we are on new pedals as well. We're on CSL V2s, so it's a completely new brake pedal. I got this on Friday, and I'm racing with it now. So yeah, this was an interesting experience, especially it was a weird track to get used to the brake pedal. I mean, you're having to get used to this brake pedal at Monza, where there's a lot of heavy braking zones. So it's not ideal. It's not the easiest. We definitely weren't quick. We had about a day practice, roughly, and yeah, not ideal. But we finished our first Q1 run, and it's a low point zero, so not the worst. We definitely didn't look too slow. We were just not quick, I'd say, and that put us P9 by the end of the session nearly. So it's looking like we're going to have to go out. We were contemplating staying in and saving the set and just hoping, but we thought we may as well not risk it and we'll go out again, which is kind of annoying. I've had to go out a lot, twice in Q1, which is very frustrating and something I want to change, but the brake pedal did not help. So going into turn 1, just brake before the 100-meter board, down to 3rd gear, swing it left, up to 4th gear, and we actually go slower this time round, but usually these laps at the end of Q1 are just kind of trying to finish it. You don't really want to send it too much, you just usually need about half a tenth improvement, and that'll see you through. So we're just trying to take it cautious, but gain time as well. You can see that chicane. That might have looked good, but I've probably lost a tenth there to an ideal chicane. So yeah, very bad at that chicane, let me tell you. Through this Lesmo 2 now, it was really poor through here as well. That was another issue. I was struggling with the brake pedal. Coming into Ascari now, or coming up to Ascari. This is also a very interesting corner. You can take a lot of inside curb if you want to. We take it fairly nice. We actually don't leave tons of time in the table. We don't completely push it on the limit, but we definitely don't leave it all out there. And now come up to the last corner, parabolica, brake just at the 50-meter board. Down to 5th gear, we actually miss our apex. Go wide a little bit, up to 6th gear, and up to the line. This should see us through fairly easily. Half a tenth improvement, and that sees us up to P5. So that is easily through by the looks of it. And now we move on to our first Q2 run. This is on an old set of tyres. Come around parabolic up to 6th gear. I need a P to the line. What is it going to be? We actually pull in to the pits because I need a P. So that is the moral of my story. My bladder cannot wait 5 minutes most of the time, which is fairly annoying. But we now come to the end of our Q2 lap. Yep, this is our midway Q2 lap, so we still have one after this if we need to. And you might have just seen there, that was a very squiggly, squirrely last Ascari. So yeah, that was not ideal through the last corner. Can we do anything that is a representable lap time up to the line? It would have been much better if we didn't blow up at the Ascari. It's P2 for now, 898 overall lap time. So yeah, alright lap time, but nothing crazy impressive. But we now come to our final lap in Q2. This is very important. We have to put this lap together. If we do not, we'll probably be seeing our way out of Q2. And yeah, I was feeling very inconsistent on this brake pedal, so we're going to have to put everything together here when it matters. So going into turn 1 now, brake just before the 100-meter board, down to 3rd gear, clipping that apex nicely, swinging it left quickly, up to 4th gear to minimise wheel spin, keeping the car straight to make sure those rear wheels don't spin up too much, and we're 10th up now through at Curva Grande, completely flat in any racing car nowadays. And now up to this next chicane. This is a really bad chicane. It's a low 0.0 split, and we completely mess up that chicane. Our car bottoms out. We lose all the time we have gained through that first part of the lap, down to 5th gear through the Lesmo 1, and we're just off the limit now. We're matching our delta through the Lesmo 2. We just don't push enough through Lesmo 2, and we're 400s down our lap. And at this point, I knew I would be out of qualifying. I had a feeling I was going to be out of qualifying. So coming up to Scar, we're going to have to send it to get through to Q3, and we're just not taking enough inside curb. The rear end goes again, and that is us. That is us probably going to be out in qualifying, I'd imagine. So we're going to have to hope for a miracle now. I thought we may as well just send the last corner and hope we can find any time that's there. But we hit the inside curb coming on the exit, and we lose the car, and that is us out of qualifying probably. We're P10. Will anyone beat us? There's an Alfa Romeo running up to the line. Is he going to beat us? And yes, he does. That's us P11. Our second time being knocked out in Q2 this season, which is a shame. That's 2 out of 8 times we've been knocked out, and 6 out of 8 times we've been through. So yeah, a bit frustrating. We just didn't have the confidence, especially through that chicane, which I think was our main issue. I saw a lot of people were able to take that better than I was. But yeah, there is the Q3 results as well. You can see Frederick on pole, Barry P2, Lucas P3, and the rest you can see. So yeah, not an ideal quality, just a bit messy. I feel like even if we got to Q3, we just weren't consistent enough anyway. So I wouldn't have been surprised if we got to Q3 and we ended up P9 anyway. Just how it is, to be honest. But yeah, these things happen. Just wasn't really feeling it on this brake pedal, and that's just how it is. Time will come, and we'll get there eventually. But we're now starting the race. We're starting on the hard compound tyre. The tyre temp glitch is fixed actually, so we're not going to be wheel spinning to Narnia off the line. So hopefully we can get a smoothish start and just see our way to a clean start, and just have a nice battle. Hopefully, we're just going to hope for maybe points. P7, I think, is the highest we'll get here without any chaos. But nevertheless, we've got 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And away we go. Do we get a good launch compared to the cars around us? We get a good launch compared to Thomas and compared to the cars behind. They fall back a fair amount. We're sitting in the slipstream of Thomas Ronhart. Can we make anything stick? Trying to make sure we don't go into the back of any of these cars. It all gets congested up into turn 1. Turn 2 now. Just trying to keep our front wing clean. And it looks like we've kept it clean going through Curva Grande. And nothing really exciting happening in the first lap there, or the first corner. Now coming up to chicane, can anything go wrong for anyone else that will reap our benefit? Going through a chicane now, we're just trying to keep it extremely safe. Hitting that curb, bouncing us all over the place. You can see the time you lose if you hit that curb in the wrong way. Thomas gaining 2 tenths on us there through that wee chicane. Now through the Lesmos, just trying to dial in now. Tyres are warmer than they used to be, but they're still not up to temperature compared to what you want, as we have a big snap on the exit of Lesmo 2. Yoni Tormala, he's all over us now. Is he going to go for a move? He's definitely looking at it, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything. Very difficult to overtake at Monza. Not as difficult as tracks like Monaco, obviously, but trust me, it's harder than you think. 4 tenths behind Ronhar though, and it's looking like we're just going to have to settle into a rhythm now. And I could already feel from the first lap there that we just didn't really have the pace that we needed. It was just, yeah, I just don't have the confidence in the car, in my left foot particularly, and I was not really feeling confident at all, especially into turn 1. That was my main place. I had just nothing. But on to lap 7, nothing really happened. Veloci Thomas is still ahead of us, but Jake Benham, he got knocked out in Q1. I believe he started P19 actually. He started on the medium compound tyre, and he's going to go for a move up the inside. We're going to let him by. There's no point in fighting him. He does turn off the RS fairly early, which is pretty annoying. But yeah, I guess it benefits him more than it benefits us. And he gets past us fairly easily. We lose quite a lot of time there actually trying to hold it. We're not really trying to hold it around the outside. We probably should have broke earlier and tried cutting. Yeah, Jake Benham gets passes. We now move on to lap 12. We actually lost the DRS, showing our lack of pace. But lap 12 now, Alfie Butcher, he's pretty close behind us. And looks like he's probably going to get the move on us. Yanni Tormala pits. And yeah, Alfie Butcher probably going to make an overtake on us now. And there's not really much we can do. We half-heartedly defend. But again, yeah, not really anything we can do to kind of defend off Alfie Butcher, especially in that straight. But now moving on to the end of lap 13, still just behind Alfie. And we're actually going to peel into the pits. Don't really know where to brake, so we brake extremely early. But at least we don't get a 5 seconds like Patrick Seapost does. But coming into the pits now, and I think we're going to be strapping the medium set of tyres. Yep, medium set. And hopefully this will see us to the end of the race. We get a clean pit stop, no problems there. And hopefully we can scrape points from this strategy, even P9. Just points, to be honest. Like, it's not been a great qualifying, so it's not really helped us. But Samuel Bean, you can see he comes out just ahead of us. Or Yanni Tormala even, I don't know why I said Samuel Bean. But Samuel Bean just behind us. He's probably going to get DRS as we're on very cold tyres. And Yanni Tormala, he's pretty far ahead now. 2.1 seconds to be exact. Now Fab comes out of the pits. And at this point, I was pretty angry as, yeah, we're completely out of DRS. Like, there's not really much we can do. And it makes life very difficult. So, yeah, not really much to say about this at this point. 19 though, Yarno, he came out on a set of soft compound tyres. Samuel Bean still sitting behind us. And Jake Benham on a soft compound tyre as well, on a 3-second time penalty, however. But going into turn 1 now, you can see a lot of people fighting, and this is my moment really to get in the points, hopefully. We're P12, a few people have penalties ahead, so we're actually P10 currently, as Fab and Patrick have penalties. So it's not looking completely awful right now. It's looking alright, just not great, as I believe they're going side by side into the chicane. Hopefully they can take each other out as we do not do that chicane great again. But it looks like we might be in the DRS here. You can see it's 9/10 to gap. We've just got to nail these Lesmos, really push the limit here to make sure we get in the DRS of Fabrizio Donoso. Now, round the second Lesmo, can we get in the DRS at 7/10? We're pretty nicely into the DRS of Fabrizio Donoso. But now Jake Benham, we move on to lap 21. He's going to be getting the move on us. We're half-heartedly defending again. And yeah, I just don't really want to make it too easy for him, as it might help us at the end of the race if he doesn't have a lot of ERS. You can see he gets the move done fairly easily, but then we switch on the ERS again. We're going to try and hold it around outside to an extent. We sit back in the slipstream. We're going to pull out back to the left-hand side. Can we send it down in the inside into the chicane? But no, we back out and think better of it. No point in fighting that. And then we let him go. Now moving on to lap 24. A fairly boring race so far, but on to lap 24. See Patrick Seapost just ahead of us, going through Ascari. I was on 2 warnings at this point, as Jake Benham has a massive off, and he is into the wall. Jake Benham having a huge slide there, and that is very good for us. Lap 24 out of 27 of the Italian Grand Prix. Jake Benham has stacked it into the wall. We're P10 now on lap 27, and it looks like we're going to be P8 after penalties. Coming around the final corner, Patrick Seapost has 8 seconds, and Fabrizio Donoso has 3 seconds. Coming up to the line now, it's going to be P8 on penalties. Just off, or I say just off, 2.7 off of Seb. I think if we were maybe in the DRS room, we probably could have been able to get Seb. But yeah, a bit annoying, as Yanni Tormala, as you can see, was actually 2 positions behind us, but finished 3 positions ahead of us. So he's gained 5 positions, really. And it's a bit frustrating. I noticed there I did not include the last lap drama. That's just me being lazy. But yeah, if you're wondering where we gained magically 2 positions, Freddie and Barry did have a collision at the last, or the first corner on the last lap. So that's why we are gaining 2 positions. But yeah, P8, not too bad. It might be more with penalties, but I don't really think so. Yeah, but P8, not too bad. Considering we started P11 and we've gained positions, it could have been worse. It's just kind of annoying that people like Yanni have got P5 and they were behind us and they were on the same strategy. So yeah, that's our fault. We didn't really have much data. We didn't really think you could pit that early and get away with it. But yeah, we probably should have just sent it as it's just PSGL. And yeah, it's what it is. We turned up to this race on not much practice, as did most people, I'd imagine. And we done all right. We done meh. P8 isn't too bad. We'll probably be P8 in the standing still as well. So, or P9, something like that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a pretty boring race, I'm not going to lie. It was a pretty awful performance for myself as well. The brake pedal did not help. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment if you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which is Imola. And bye.